Hello again. Uh, again, for maybe you guys that didn't watch my first video, my name's Alberto, and the concept of this channel is I'm taking an online article and I'm also taking some Bible verses right here. This is with this particular Bible, you can read it every single day today. For example, it's still February 16th. So what I'm going to do in this channel, I'm going to take the online article that I read and then kind of go over that a little bit, summarize what the article is about. And then I'm going to be reading some Bible scriptures. And I'm going to see how I can relate the two. What can we learn from this particular online article, and what possible life lesson we can learn from this Proverbs 9 right here, the message, what life lesson we can take away from this article and apply it. So right here, this is from people.com, People Magazine. Been around for a long time. And the title of this particular article is Tesla recalls 362,758 vehicles due to self-driving software that increases the risk of a crash. Wow, that's amazing. Before I get into this article, I'm just going to give you some overall commentary of how I feel towards this company overall. I've never really been a big Tesla fan. I mean, the concepts are pretty alluring. I mean, who wants to spend money on gas? Every couple of days, stopping at the gas station, putting money into it. That doesn't even include the insurance. We got to put some people, they got to put the sticker on the windshield. You got the license plate. You got the maintenance of the car. Obviously oil changes, tires, brakes. I mean, it just goes, the list goes on and on and on. But getting back to Tesla, my overall opinion towards this company, like I said, I've never been a big fan of them. Going back to what I just said, it would be nice not having to pay for gas, and then with this self-driving feature, I mean, that too. I mean, who also, we want to get from point A to point B, and we don't necessarily want to have to deal with the actual driving itself, so that too is alluring, that not having to put gasoline in the car and then just hopping in the vehicle and letting the vehicle do its thing, but I'm from the old school, and when something is, I just grew up with the mindset, if it's too good to be true, then it probably is. And that's what we're seeing here with this Tesla article. And I have to say, this recall, it's a little upsetting. I haven't read specific articles, but I do remember hearing about stories where some of these Tesla drivers, they lost their lives, they fell asleep, they didn't think they were being negligent. They were doing what the manufacturer said that the car could do. And it's so upsetting that, and these, obviously, that these cars are not cheap. That's it's almost like you're putting a down payment on a house, on a car that can cause serious risk to your health, or possibly even cost you your life. And why is that? Why why are these accidents? Why did these people lose their lives in vain? Was was it greed? Was it with the engineers? Did they do their due diligence? Was there a possibility that they could have done um, more due diligence to make sure that these automobiles were soundproof before releasing them out into the public for people to purchase? Was there um, an element of wanting to expedite that, meaning they knew that these cars were not 100% ready to go out into the general public, but they went ahead and pushed them out there because they wanted to get that bankroll coming in? Uh, it's very upsetting. And like I told you before, I didn't read specific articles, but I just remember headlines of people losing their lives because they were in the self-driving mode, and then the car just crashed. And then going back to what I said about the greed, the human greed, with Boeing, we remember that. I watched a documentary about Boeing and their faulty aircraft, and the documentary was saying that the engineers, they knew that the system, it was basically flawed. They knew that there was potential risk, but again, there was pressure, money pressure to get these. They I From what I recall from the documentary, they started with these planes, and then while the engineers were making the planes, they realized that there was fault, and they tried to sort of fix it, but they only half-heartedly fix it because, again, they've already invested all that money into starting the process of creating these planes. They realized that there was an issue in the middle of creating these planes, and they didn't want to go back from square one, lose all that money, all that time that they've already invested in those airplanes. And we saw what happened. Hundreds of people losing their lives. And but getting back to this article, it was a short article. This is right here, verbatim. This is the first paragraph. According to Tesla's voluntary recall, the affected vehicles feature self-driving software with bugs that, quote, allow the vehicle to act unsafe around intersections. Yeah, if you're driving on the road, you're going to deal with intersections. Again, this is the following paragraph. On Wednesday, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA, announced in the recall that the FSD, which stands for the self-driving beta software, quote, increases the risk of a crash due to several bugs in the software, which Tesla will remedy with a free over-the-air update. A free over-the-air update. Wow. Whatever that means. And the question is, will it remedy the issue? Or are there still room for bugs? Is there still liability for risk even after these Tesla owners update the software? Who knows? And like these Teslas, these are not cheap vehicles. You're not, you're literally spending a down payment on a house on these vehicles. And yes, Teslas, I didn't read the full article, but just in the Yahoo feeds that they had come down by as much as 10,000 recently to try to stay more competitive in the EV market. But again, even with $10,000 off, they're still pricey. And for that kind of money, you should be buying a safe. You should have assurance that you're purchasing a safe product. And again, is it greed? Is it not doing the due diligence that, um, you know, that's up for interpretation. Okay, so that was the article from People Magazine Online. And right here, we're going to our hefty study Bible. And this one is from Proverbs 9:13 through 18. The woman named Folly is brash. She is ignorant and doesn't know it. She sits in her doorway on the heights overlooking the city. She calls out to men going by who are minding their own business. Come in with me, she urges the simple. To those who lack good judgment, she says, stolen water is refreshing. Food eaten in secret tastes the best. But little do they know that the dead are there. Her guests are in the depths of the grave. Wow. Okay, so we have our Telsa article from People, and then we have this passage here from Proverbs. So now, what can we take away from this Bible passage, and how can we relate to the Telsa article? Before I get into that, I just want to reread one more quote right here. This is Proverbs 17. Stolen water is refreshing. Food eaten in secret tastes the best. And what is that referring to? This woman, we don't know if she's a prostitute or a bored, lonely housewife that's no longer intimate with her husband. Stolen water is refreshing. This proverb is it trying to teach us to be careful when something seems too good to be true? It looks like that is what it's alluring to. And how do I relate this Bible passage to this People magazine article with Telsa? Again, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. If these men, maybe some of them are fairly happy with their spouses and their home life and their children, but they want that something for nothing, and they don't realize what they're getting themselves into, because again, right here it says, but little do they know that the dead are there. Her guests are in the depths of the grave. So, they just think that they could just go in there, have their sweets and fulfill, whatever gratifying temptation, and then just simply wash your hands and walk out. No, this is something that, they're going to take with them. So, again, these Telsa owners, they purchase these vehicles thinking they're spending a lot of money. This is a quality product. They were lured into not having, not putting gasoline into their car. The self-driving, they could just take their hands off the steering wheel, just chill out and relax, and who knows, read a book. I don't know. And for me personally, yeah, that it is alluring. It is tempting to not have to go to the gas station and we don't know if gas is going to go back to $5, $6, $7, you know. But, you know, I do know that I do have a traditional Honda car that requires gasoline, but I do feel safe in it. Yes, I have to put money in. I have to stop at the gas station, fill up, etc., etc., but I feel safe. I'm behind the wheel. My hands are on the steering wheel, and I'm paying attention to my surroundings. And it's not um, something that's too good to be true. I'm putting in the work. So that was the article, and that was the Bible passage. If you guys want to go ahead and look at the article online, and then look at this Bible passage from Proverbs 9:13 through 18, and put your input. Again, maybe there's something that I overlooked, but we have to look at the big picture and see, you know, what are we truly investing in? What are we truly getting here? Or do we have to, you know, put in the actual work? And you know, it could be tiresome, but it's it'll be worth it than to be getting something that might be too good to be true. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with me, making the second video of the night, and I hope to see you guys in the next article and Bible passage. Good night.